Zarafa tonight. He takes on El Toro, the Spanish bull, in Oscar Diaz. How about it? An 8th unbeaten opponent in just 13 fights for Nikita Tszyu. That's all in front of us. We've got the prelims before then, and Nova Castrian on each of the prelims. And then later tonight, Callum Peters is back in the ring, and Anthony Mundine's son, CJ Raheem Mundine, will be on the main event portion of the card. My name's Corbin Middlemass. World title bound super bantamweight Sam Goodman alongside me for the call. Sam, lovely to see you in Newcastle.
It's good to be here, mate. Had many good nights here, and looking forward to another one.
So it's an amazing atmosphere, this place. Let's get to the fights, and Stephen Payos is ready to go in centre ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to everybody here inside the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Soon to be Tszyucastle once again, as we welcome you to this broadcast live and free on Fox Sports. Foxtel's main event pay-per-view is where you can catch our main card from 7 p.m. this evening. 4 bouts on our preliminary card, followed by 5 big bouts on our pay-per-view card, and it all culminates with Nikita, the Butcher Tszyu, against Oscar El Toro, the Bull Diaz. That's our main event this evening. First of all, let's welcome out our boxers. We have the first bout of the afternoon, 4 rounds in the lightweight division, and it's time to welcome our boxers centering for their ring walks. We start with the man boxing to my right. Out of the red corner, let's have a very big round of applause. This is Benjamin Amos.
Play. Sir. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
The Newcastle-based Ben Amos, a remarkable comeback to the sport. He suffered a life-threatening motorbike accident in 2023 where he had broken ribs, had a punctured lung and a bulging disc. He's an electrician outside of boxing. Tonight he carries the Portuguese and Indigenous flags to the ring in honour of the deceased Eddie dos Santos. Eddie's initials will be on his trunks tonight. Of course, a long-time gatekeeper in Australian boxing. Ben learned a lot of his trade from Eddie, who mentored him as a kid. So that's the nod that you'll see tonight as Amos makes his way back into the ring. He's done some sparring for this fight with Brent Walton, who's a fellow Nova Castrian. You'll see him a little later in the card as well on the prelims.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome his opponent centering. It is ring walk time for the man boxing to my left out of the blue corner. Let's have a very big round of applause as we welcome Wayne Telepe.
A young man from Melbourne, the rising lightweight prospect. He's got a background in rugby. He said he used to use his hands too much there, got too many red cards, and decided, you know what, maybe boxing's more my thing. It is a family affair. He's the son of Lupe, who is a former cruiserweight champion in New Zealand. He's been around the fight game his whole life. Says he finds peace in the ring, that every fight is a step towards changing his life. And equally as comfortable in the ring in a boxing bout or in a dog fight. We'll see what we get tonight. We saw him against Ahmed Rada, of course, the incredibly dangerous super lightweight in a title fight back in December. We'll see how he goes tonight with a bit more of a run-up. Here is the tail of the tape, still just 19 years of age, Telepe. It's incredible to think what he's already done inside the ring when he gets a chance to put his skills on show tonight. He's got a height and a reach advantage, and he got there in the end underneath the weight. He had to take a few old school tactics, which we'll talk about throughout the bout, to make sure he was under the limit when they weighed in yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. Centering time to get our afternoon kicked off. First bout here in Tszyucastle. 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Our judges scoring this bout ringside, Will Sulos, John Cauchi and Shane Stanford. This bout is proudly brought to you by No Limit Boxing. We start to my right and we introduce the man who's boxing out of the red corner this afternoon. He wears the black trunks with the pink and light blue trim. He weighed in 61.16 kilograms, holding a professional record, 4 fights, 3 wins and 1 loss. He hails from right here in Charlestown, Newcastle area, New South Wales. Let's welcome Benjamin Amos. And now we move across the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Time to introduce his opponent boxing out of the blue corner this afternoon. He wears the red and black trunks with the red frill. He tipped the scale 61.2 kilograms. He holds a professional record reading 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses, 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Melbourne in Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm Newcastle welcome. This is Wayne the Terminator Telepe. When the action gets underway, referee in charge is Leanne Reid.
Okay, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my instructions at all times. Fight strong, fight fair. Touch gloves.
So Amos and Telepe, and 2 guys with similar records, both looking to make a name for themselves tonight. And the last time out, we saw Telepe took the hardest fight in Australian boxing on short notice. He won us over with his heart that night, Sam. Let's see if he can win us over with his skills this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's a tough guy, Telepe. He was in a real tough fight with Armadretta, and he was game the whole time. So looking to see a bit more of that from him tonight.
He takes the lead foot immediately as they lock up in centre ring, and Leanne Reid separates them. Telepe in the red, throws an overhand right, trying to get a little left hook through as well, and Amos hangs on to him. It's just a couple of 100 grams over yesterday, the weigh-in, and understandably the Amos camp made sure he had to get the weight off. We saw Telepe in the shopping centre yesterday at the weigh-in, got some chewing gum, Sam, chewing on that, spitting into a cup, just trying to shave off those last few grams.
You've got to do whatever you got to do to get there, so it's all a part of the game, and it's nasty when you get it wrong.
It's amazing work in a half an hour, 45-minute period to try and shave off a few kilos. He was able to do it and get out of there without too much of a disruption.
They're both already looking to switch stances and give a few different looks, but so they've both got that up their arsenal. When they can go southpaw, they've got a few little skills where they like to go to, so they like to both mix it up.
Multi-punch combination there from Telepe, still working away towards the body. Weave up on the inside, and now Amos trying to control the distance with his jab. Sends one to the body.
I think I'd like a bit more of that from Amos. A bit more, probably fundamental stuff. Work off your jab. Look to keep it long.
Telepe working to the body and then throws one upstairs too. Now he's got his back against the ropes. Weave his way out of there, continuing to work to the body, and Amos throws a nice little short left hand of his own.
Yeah, I don't think he looks as comfortable trading in there with Telepe. Telepe's real strong, and he's got some real good short hooks, some good shots he can put together.
Had one bounce off the guard there, able to get that right hand up to protect the chin, and a nice bit of footwork works his way back, Telepe. Both land one, both receive one. Cop the receipt on the way out.
I like it when Amos changes his height to the body.
Not sure he was quite stung there, but certainly took him off balance a little bit. Telepe has to try and regain his equilibrium and get back to controlling the fight in the middle of the ring. Now he unloads a combination of his own, and Amos does well to weave back out of our latter stages of the opening round. Telepe, last flurry just before the bell. And that'll do us through one. What caught your eye in that opening round, Sam?
Look, I definitely think Telepe done a lot of the cleaner work on the inside and with shorter shots, but I think for Amos, it's a real winner when he looks to jab the body and almost just, it's an easy shot to take, especially when you're getting that upper body movement from Telepe. So I think he's going to look to do more of that and then look for shots upstairs, but it was a very close round. It was a bit of a pick-em round, so maybe slightly leaning towards Telepe just because he probably got a few of the cleaner shots, bigger shots.
Here's a few of the highlights from that opening round. Nice work there, just to duck and weave out of the way. Working on the inside, and Amos, to his credit, had some better moments in the latter stages of that opening round. He's Brandon Grach, who we're going to see back in the ring next, to return to the heavyweight division. As we know, there's something different about heavyweight boxing. So.
Yeah, it's nasty. They can all punch up there. I'm glad I'm down at where I am.
He's had an unbelievable moment in this building in the past, Brandon, so nice to see him back at it. We'll get him out here at the completion of this intriguing fight. First one of the night. And of course, main event. If you want the full card, you'll see the QR code bob up throughout the night. And Nikita Tszyu headlining all of that.
Stop! Stop!
The referee jumps in just to separate them here. Telepe, the teenager out of Melbourne, and Amos is the local fighter. Swinging over the top, multi-punch combination, and Amos goes down here for one south of the border.
And that rugged sort of work, it's suiting Telepe a lot more. It's making a hard night's work for Amos.
Here we go, let's have a look at this again. Thoughts, Sam?
Wouldn't have felt nice. Yeah, it strayed a little bit low, but it is a part of the game. Don't think it was intentional at all, but I like that idea of going to the body of Amos, and that ruggedness. It's suiting Telepe, it's suiting his style of fight. I'd like to see Amos get back on the jab.
You almost never see anyone take the full time that he's on offer in these kind of scenarios, but he gets the opportunity to have a breather here, and not to downplay or make light of the contact, because as we know, if you get hit in the wrong spot,
it's not good. But the people start going, so they get restless.
And sure enough, inside the allotted time here, we're back underway. Telepe and Amos. Ooh.
That's real good work up the middle from Telepe there. Love those short body shots.
Telepe landing on the body and then weaving out of the way for the huge swinging hook that came upstairs. Wasn't able to curl its way home. Telepe jumps into another shot here. Well blocked by Amos. Telepe again with a nice little movement, feints, moves in behind it, throwing a multi-punch combination of the body. Amos tries to answer back, blocked off the gloves. There's a right hand that got through. Not a whole lot behind it.
Real nice pull counter, and he's been able to do that because Amos is getting tentative and he's almost half jabbing, so he's not fully committing to it. He's got to commit. Good body shot from Amos there, though.
Yeah. Thudding blow to the body. And he's taking his moments here to work to the body, and Telepe weaving back out of the way and now trying to walk Amos back. And more work to the body. So we'd love to say money in the bank in the fight game, working to the body early in a fight.
Absolutely, and those short shots through the middle, even those long ones, those long straight punches, it's those stabbing sort of shots, they add up. They add up over time, and you know, I'm telling you, people can feel them.
Judges distance well there. Telepe just weaves out of the way. The teenager out of Melbourne. Right in the centre of the ring. Now Telepe trying to work back on the inside. Amos throwing a couple of stiff shots in there himself. Now a three-punch combination catches him upstairs. There's a few cheers for the hometown lad. And Amos growing up just round the corner. A lot of support in the building here tonight. Getting in behind that flurry, and again he's had his most success in the second half of the round.
Just leaving things to the back end of the round a little too much for my liking. I think he's got to pick up the pace at the moment.
2 down, so just a 4-round fight gets us to the halfway mark. For Cuppet is the trainer of Ben Amos. Let's listen in.
Low blow. Bullseye. Breathe. You see, he's gassing towards the end of that round. That low blow fucked us because he got that rest. Towards the end of the round, just start letting your hands go that little bit more. He's going to have that initial bit where he's got energy and he's got that little bit of power. But after that, take it to him. You're hurting him every time you go to the body. And you hit him with that hook and the right hand's there. He's got to bring that right hand back up and then bring that hook back in. Okay, start doubling that lead hook too. Okay? Yeah. You're right in this fight, okay? If he keeps going low, he's going to lose a point, all right? How you feeling? That's all right? Yeah. Heavy power. Yeah. Box him early.
Yeah. Punches up.
Just a little check-in, make sure everything's in order.
Round 3.
2 rounds down, Amos and Telepe, so round number 3 of only 4. Who have you got on top at the halfway stage, Sam?
Look, I'm leaning towards Telepe. I just think the activity's been a bit more, and they're both starting to do nice work through the middle as well once it comes into short range. So I like that from both boys, but I think Telepe's he's just got the edge on things at the moment.
He's coming with plenty of ferocity here again, straight off the stall and pressing the action early in the round, consistent with what we've seen in the first 2. And Amos has had to sort of work his way back into the rounds at the midway stage of both the first and the second. Lands a short little uppercut on the inside here.
That's nice from Amos, but he's got to work after that. He's got to get back to being busy. His coach said it. He needs a bit more activity, and that's what he's got to look to do. He's got to look to force these next 2 rounds a little bit.
Telepe trying to bring him up from the floor. Unsuccessful there. As well to block one coming back at him on the inside. He's pretty comfortable fighting on the outside and the inside, Telepe. Wants to get in there and just happy to put his head on Amos's chest and go to work.
He's got some very awkward movements, so when he's coming from long range into short, he's a bit of a hard and difficult target to catch clean, so Amos has got to look to punch down on him a little bit more, and even the body work, it's a lot easier to find the body than it is the head when you've got someone bending like Telepe is, so he's got to look to curl his right hand or get to the body like that.
There's that great intent too, where he says, come on, let's go, let's stand right on the middle of the No Limit logo in the middle of the ring and throw down. 13 shots here on a 3-punch combination from Telepe. They tangle up again.
Step back. Let's go. Step back. Box.
Impressive performance from the young man. First time we've seen him since that Ahmad Reda fight.
Absolutely, and he's doing a decent job of owning centre ring for the most part as well. For the most part, it's been Amos who has been retreating the whole fight.
Oh, Amos answers back there. Telepe, almost the universal signal that he got caught as the shake of the head and indicated to the judges, no, you didn't get me.
He's got to be careful he's not getting caught in between shots, not staying for too long and getting greedy.
Tries a big
Do your
home run.
work and break away.
He tried a big home run left down there that didn't connect. Back in the orthodox stance. Amos, oh, big curling hook. Thumbs off part of the glove, part of the neck of Telepe. Trying to follow back in, stiff jab. Keeps him back, Amos. Working behind it. Now the rock'em sock'em robots in the middle of the ring. Telepe trying to find a way through. Amos having a little moment.
Big left hook from Amos. Caught Telepe again in between shots.
Telepe claims the win at the end of the round, but as you touched on, Sam, latter stages there, that huge hook from Amos, his best moment of the fight so far. We're going to listen in to the Telepe corner.
Good. Listen to me. Hey. Listen to me. You're doing very good. All right? Keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep setting it up. Understand? Don't play with it.
Don't put yourself in the fucking judgment.
All right?
Don't do it. You're made for more, bro. Yeah. Come on. Please, so what's fucking happening, bro? Find it.
Bring that right hand over. Don't finish with it. Finish with the lead hand. Okay? All combination, finish with the lead hand. Understand? Over, grip hook, give it there.
Here's the highlights from round 3. What caught your attention, Sam?
Look, like you said a bit before, it's a bit of that rocket sock and robots. It's there's a lot of back and forth. I like when Telepe, he's getting some good shots in, but then just getting caught on the way out a bit more. If he's a bit cleaner, I think he makes things a whole lot easier for himself.
So here we go, 4th and final round. And we've seen Telepe, he wants to trade on the inside, and yet, as we know, he's also more vulnerable when he finds himself in there at range for Amos. 1 to go. Flurry of punches up top, and misses with the hook.
Jab side back, jab cross off. He's back in that straight line.
Telepe, land a right hand, bounces off the forehead of his opponent. Circles away to his right. Oh, Amos on the inside, short little left hand.
Just got caught trying to be a little too cute there. In between shots again. better start to the round from Amos.
Like Telepe out of the gates in the first 3 rounds so far, the best opening minute or so. As you said, Amos with a hotter start here in round number 4.
Stop. Let's go, box.
He's definitely looking to press a lot more in this round as well, Amos. For the majority of the fight, he's looked to go back and retreat a bit more, but there's a bit of urgency this round.
Telepe again, circling out to his left, trying to counter as Amos makes his way in. Gets out of the way of the jab. Amos to the body. Curling left hook, partly blocked on the way through. Telepe trades on the inside. Again, right on the belt line. Where's a couple of short, stiff uppercuts. Telepe, now he locks up. Called for the clinch. Leanne Reid separates them. Hot minute to go in this fight. Short 4-rounder.
Let's go.
Both guys blocking some punches. High guard from Telepe. Leaky one on that occasion. Follows up with a 3-punch combination upstairs. Nice defensive move. Weaves out of the way. And exits out of the dangerous spot. 45 seconds to go. Amos wildly swinging, missing. Desperation stakes late in the piece here. Short uppercut on the inside. Telepe trying to punch his way out of them. And the ref will give him a chance to do that as well. Final 30 seconds. Telepe with the left hook. Now follows up with a thudding right hand, and that's block 2. And in the end, Amos forced to clinch. Final 15 seconds.
Stop. Wipe your gloves.
Tangle of legs.
Wipe your gloves. 10 seconds.
All
10
okay.
seconds.
Final 10 seconds. Telepe happy to trade right to the final bell. Amos answers back, and the 2 lads will leave it all out there. A fun finish to a short 4-rounder. And both lads pretty happy with what they've seen, as we are here as well. Four-round fight, Sam, always promises to be high-octane, entertaining action from the opening bell, and that's exactly what we got, and it's just the beginning. Tszyu DIAZ, as you can see on your screen, through main event tonight from 7 Eastern. How about that?
Massive fight, real good. So, real good start to the show, and plenty of energy and, yeah, a lot of activity, especially from Telepe. And he threw a lot of punches, and there wasn't many half-weight shots in there, so it was a good performance from both boys.
What impressed you about Telepe tonight? What stood out?
Look, just his willingness to sort of get after it in the 4-round fight, but I think there's definitely a few things he can improve on, but I liked his work up the middle and how he brought it back up top. I think got him that little bit for him, so I think that probably has just got him over the line in this fight.
And Amos is an interesting character. He fought Cooper O'Connell. A shout out to Cooper. I'm sure is listening in Las Vegas and watching along. He was at super lightweight then, learned he was basically too small for the division, dropped the weight class, and here we see him in this back at a more natural weight for him. He hasn't lost since. This one at the hands of the judges. He certainly wasn't going anywhere. He hung around. He's a tough guy, Ben Amos, as you'd expect from any kind of Newcastle fighter.
Absolutely. They both wore plenty of good shots from each other and both kept coming, so it was a good performance from both boys. Unreal to watch.
All right, fighters assembling in the middle of the ring. The first of what is going to be a bumper card here on Fox Sports and main event tonight. Nikita Tszyu and Oscar Diaz. We're ready to go for the decision. Let's kick it up to Stephen Payos.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for our boxers. This is the first bout of the evening. What a great start here. No limit boxing. After 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Judge Shane Stamford scores the bout 38-38, a draw. Judge Will Soulos scores the bout 39-37. Judge John Couchy scores the bout 40-36. Both of those judges score the bout in favour of your winner. We have a majority points decision. And your winner is Wayne Terminator Telepe!
No, 90 points, baby. Let's get it. Let's do a rematch, baby. If you don't think it's clear, bro, it's clear as day, baby. Banana can box. I'm in, bro. We come
And
in.
that can happen in a short 4-round fight where all of a sudden you have a couple of close rounds and one judge has it at 2 apiece, and all of a sudden you get a majority decision. But 2 of the judges seen it very similar to our man Sam Goodman here on Fox Sports and Main Event. All right, Nikita Tszyu up against Oscar Diaz. Of course, that's coming up tonight, but coming up next in just a few moments' time, Brandon Grach, who has one of the biggest knockouts in this building ever. He's back at it in the heavyweight division. If you like heavyweight boxing, and I honestly can't understand anyone who says they don't, that is just a few moments away. It all builds tonight, of course, to Nikita Tszyu back in the ring right here on Fox Sports and Main Event.
He was feeling a bit of pressure.
Oh, shot!
He didn't expect the kind of style that I came out with.
The heads have slammed together a number of times, and now there's a big cut. I can't see, he says. Stop that.
He saw that first option of being able to get out of there and took it.
Look at Nikita Tszyu.
It's the first time I get to show off things that I've been working on in over 2 years. Everyone hates a boring fight. He's gonna want a tango, for sure. I don't try to entertain, I just fight the way I fight. I guess it always seems to entertain people. I like a good old scrap.
Classy and relentless Callum Peters. Oh, these are big punches. Bang, bang. Callum Peters simply outgunned by 50 count.
Callum Peters is a real exciting rising star. He's got the class, he's got the skill.
Peters from everywhere.
What a fighter, what a talent. 50 cal, guns down another one.
This kid is special.
Callum Peters, the star continues to rise. Here he is, he's in the building, Callum Peters. He's in the co-main tonight up against Joshon James. This is a significant step up in class. Is it too much too soon for the 6-0 biggest blue chip prospect there is in Australian boxing? And then take us back to this, Brandon Grach. How about that for a left hook, which just completely KO'd Liam Telepe back in this building in 2023 in what was the knockout of the year and a fight of the year contender. He then came up against Telepe for a second time in this building, and he split a pair of results 1-1. Found himself retiring from the sport. Well, he returns tonight, and we get to see him on our air right now. Heavyweight boxing right here on Fox Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. Newcastle Entertainment Centre prelim card before our pay-per-view at 7 p.m. It's time to welcome out our heavyweights to the ring. First of all, we introduce the man to the ring. He's boxing out of my right in the red corner. Let's have a very big round of applause. This is Caleb Tialoo.
Resides in Brisbane. He's got a calm, technical style. He takes on high-profile opponents, and he's doing that again tonight. He looked not overawed, but certainly looked like it was a big setting for him yesterday. He said to me, look, I've never taken my shirt off in a shopping centre before, as he did in the weigh-in with hundreds of people gathered around on a big-time fight show. He said, look, I basically got into boxing. I thought I'd roll up, box, and go home. He's a no-fuss kind of guy, and yet he finds himself here in front of a major crowd, a big-time arena on a huge platform here on Fox Sports, and of course through No Limit and the countdown on to Nikita, Tszyu and Oscar Diaz. He's a southpaw, so we get to have a look tonight at Caleb Tialoo, who's had 9 fights previously. He takes on a guy who's trying to rocket back to the top of the heavyweight picture here in Australian boxing in Brandon Grach.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome his opponent centering. This man boxes to my left out of the blue corner. He is your local heavyweight favourite from right here in Newcastle. Let's make some noise as we welcome back here. This is Brandon Grach.
His crowning moment inside this building back in 2023 with that huge stoppage of Liam Telepe, knockout of the year winner, fight of the year contender. In 2025 they did the rematch. Following that, he retired due to a back injury, became a cattle farmer in central Queensland, sitting on the couch watching Ivic up against Telepe in Brisbane, rung his original trainer Nathan Swadlin and said, you know what, I'm coming back. He moves back to Newcastle where he was born and raised, fighting out of box camp, and he says, I'm back in my natural environment, 8 weeks in the gym, I'm ready to fight. It's what I'm born to do. The guy that grew up around the corner, he's long had an affinity with this venue. His initial goal was just to fight here. We know that he's had success in these parts before, and he's in the building tonight that he grew up running around. So Brandon Grach in his ring return, he's got his sights on some big names in the Australian heavyweight picture. He's 5 years older than Tialoo tonight. He carries in a reach and a height advantage, and the weight's +6 in favour of Tialoo in the red corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here, centering in Newcastle. Time to introduce formally our heavyweights for the next bout of the evening. We are penciled in 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Our 3 judges scoring the bout ringside: Will Sulos, John Couchy and Leanne Reid. This bout is proudly brought to you by No Limit Boxing Promotions. First of all, we move to my right. We introduce the man boxing out of the red corner this evening. He wears the purple and black trunks with the aqua blue trim, tipping the scales 122.64 kilograms. Letty coach in the corner, boxing out of Southside Academy of Combat with a professional record. 9 fights, 3 wins, 6 losses, all 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Brisbane in Queensland, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome here in New South Wales. This is Caleb Tialoo. And now we move to my left. It's time to introduce his opponent across the ring. This man boxing out of the blue corner this afternoon. He wears the black sequined and red striped trunks. He tipped the scales ready, 116.1 kilograms. Nathan Swaddling, trainer in the corner, boxing out of box camp. He holds a professional record, 5 fights, 4 wins, 1 loss, 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. He hails proudly from right here in Newcastle, New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your heavyweight Nova Castrian. This is Brandon the Bull Grach. When the action gets underway, referee in charge is Dean Cambridge.
Red corner, blue corner. All right, boys, I want no punch in the back of the head. I want nothing around here. I want you to keep them up. If you're going to be knocked down, the standing fights go neutral corner over there or the one behind me. Touch them up. Best of luck to both of you.
The Australian heavyweight division, it's lacked depth for a long time, but you can't say that at the moment. Ivic's got the belt. Hooney, McKean, Teramawana. Can Grach put his name back in that conversation? And away we go in the heavyweight division. Corbin Middlemass and Sam Goodman on the call. And Brandon Grach makes his ring return after his retirement due to a back injury, and Tialoo out there in the purple. Hold on to your hat, Sam. There's always something happening in the heavyweights.
It could be very quick. Both big boys, both got a lot of power. I like how Grach has started with the jab early.
2-punch combination there. Grach, the high profile of the two for the casual fans out there, and so familiar with his resume, the top heavyweights, and what is really a loaded domestic scene at the moment.
Break, step back.
Grach lands a couple high up on the sternum. Tialoo has a deep breath, looks back at him.
All starting from that jab as well. That's setting up those bigger shots that are going to come later. So
Keep working. Punch out.
that's setting up those hooks and those short shots that, you know, Grach, he carries so much power with, and that's what brought him that success in Newcastle last time. So all starting with the jab.
Newcastle lad after a stint in central Queensland. Grach trying to find a home for that straight right hand. Tialoo does well to judge the distance and then snaps his head back, weaving out of the way of the jab, which came flashing through. Tialoo residing up in Brisbane. Man in the purple trunks. Big stage for him tonight too, playing the role of the other guy in Grach's homecoming return. Have to make it his own story here tonight. Cagey opening round. Grach, as Sam has mentioned, trying to control the bout behind that jab.
It's a bit of an awkward guy to catch clean as well, Tialoo. He's bending a little bit, so Grach is going to have to look to change that backhand. After he can land that jab, he's going to have to look to almost punch down or bring him up with a shot.
Steve Pales mentioned that Letty's in his corner, and if you're a fan of Australian boxing, you don't have to know much about the history to know about Letty and what he's capable of. Splitting those pair of fights with Connor Wallace.
Head up, Taylor. Break. Keep that head up, mate.
The instruction there from referee Dean Cambridge, just keep the head up. A little bit of advice for Tialoo on the way through. There's a 4-punch combination from Grach. Getting to work again in behind the jab, and that's a stiff left jab. Tries to find a home for the right hook. Deep breaths of Tialoo. Latter stages of the opening round. Ooh, mouthpiece comes out. Ref's going to let him go late in the round. Grach lands one to the body. He's staying outside of range, and that'll do us through one. Let's go into the Brandon Grach corner. See what they got for the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, heavyweight boxing here on our blue down the card.
This one's just working out the puzzle, okay? He's not going to come at you too much on his own, coming at you hard. What he's trying to do is he's just a little bit tricky in the way that he advances and moves around. So it's about just working the puzzle out. So when you come in, right, I'd start looking for that double jab cross if he's going back on his back foot. The left hook's working okay.
These are highlights from that opening round, Sam, and you touched on it a couple of times during those 3 minutes that the jab in particular for Brandon Grach is what's setting up all his work.
Absolutely, that's a winner for him, and I like there how he was changing the heights with the jab as well. I think it just gives him a different look, and it's going to be able to bring shots like that over the top and get him to sort of bring him onto overhand rights and left hooks, which is the danger punches that he wants to land.
If you're the Tialoo corner, what would you be telling him after that first round?
Look, he's up against it with a big puncher like Grach, but I think he's going to have to look to probably roll one over.
Break! Let him go,
He's definitely going to stay out the way of those right hands. Where Grach is coming punching down on him there.
Did well to get underneath that home run
Watch
shot.
your heads.
Early stages here of the second round, and Grach again to the body and then whipping that left hook through. Tialoo.
Get close and make it a dogfight, because I think technically Grach is definitely the better out of the two. So he's going to have to look to, almost walk up at him and land something big and land some big shots to get momentum in his favour.
Tialoo just had a nice couple of moments there as he had Grach's back against the ropes. His best moment of the fight so far. Grach back at work.
No, keep working there. Punch out.
He's just going to look to sustain that pressure a little bit more, and can't sort of give Grach that distance. Out at that range, this is Grach's fight. When it gets in a bit tighter and a bit shorter, he can come around with some looping shots, and he's a big puncher himself, so whoever gets in first is going to be the winner.
You see Grach's confidence growing too as there's more and more punches coming in behind that lead jab from Grach. Funny shot to the body. Tialoo stands back up and trying to concoct something to keep Grach honest here and keep him off him.
Take that lead hand up. There you go.
The call there from the Grach corner, keep the lead hand up.
Keep your head up, Kane. Keep your head up.
I think this is where I'd like to see a little bit more body work from long range. Starting to jab the body, hit the body with right hands from Grach as well, because it looks like Tialoo is blowing a little bit.
Ooh. Big left hook underneath the armpit of Tialoo. Just take some wind out of him. You see those big deep breaths, and Grach is aware of that as he presses the action in behind it. Multiple punches upstairs.
He's definitely feeling the pace. If you can get down low and then bring something back up top, I think that's...
That heavy artillery to the body, just taking all the wind out of Tialoo as he, again, tries to take some deep breaths in. Covering up with the body down. Just trying to stay at range. Grach works his way in. And Tialoo is trying to navigate the latter stages of this second round as Grach senses an opportunity here. Tialoo trying to punch out of the clinch.
Punch out.
The ref gives him an opportunity to do that. Overhand right from Grach once. Well blocked by Tialoo. He just turns his head in the process. He's still wearing more and more shots to the body. You can see the expression written all over the face of Tialoo as he wears a couple to the body and then one upstairs to end the round. And Brandon Grach having some big moments here in the second round.
And then we move on to the fantastic prospects. Beautiful. And a great boxing action. Generally, everybody, Nikita Tszyu, the headline.
Beautiful round. 2 rounds. I'm happy. You know what I mean? The way you control the center, that's the way we come to fight. That's it. Control that center. All right? But stay busy, even like you don't throw punches. Keep the hand movements. All right? Just take his measurement from what you're standing like this. When you're standing like this, it's easy to attack. So even like you can't throw it, but move that hand. Right? This is the hand we need to work on. All right? Light it on. All right? Good work. I'm proud of you. We are happy. I'm happy. Good work.
Seconds down.
Stay there, champ. Stay there. Come out when the bell rings.
We've seen Tialoo a couple of times in the fight, has been told, keep his head up, keep his head up. And confidence really growing for Brandon Grach. You can see the pep in his step and the fact he's going to press the action here early in the third.
Absolutely. He's starting to get to him quite a lot, and it's all coming off that lead hand, that lead jab. He was doubling up his left hand real nice in that last round. Expect a few backhands behind it now.
It's like he's never been away, the way he's built back into his work. First round behind the jab, as you'd expect, and then more and more. And we saw the flurry of punches and work to the body.
Work out there. Keep him up, Bull. Right.
You try and walk him into something here. For Tialoo, you can see the expression on his face. He's looking more and more exasperated later in the piece here, having gone 6 minutes so far.
He's definitely trying to take the pace out of things, so Grach has just got to keep that pressure on, and the shots will come.
He's got to come up with something, Sam, just to keep Grach off him. That's the issue he's got at the moment, that Grach has been able to walk in, land those multiple punches, taking more and more stuffing out of Tialoo. Again, another probing jab to the body. Swings upstairs. Tialoo ducks underneath it. Leans head-to-head with Grach. More punches to the body.
Definitely felt that body shot. He's got to get back there straight away, because Tialoo's feeling the pace of all this.
Just ripping left hand to the body. Tialoo tries to hang on to him. His hand on the way in, and now Grach sets in an opportunity. Stiff short right hand. Tialoo trying to weave out of the way. Where's two more to the body? And Grach is coming for him now. Multiple short right hands up top. And now the ref jumps in, and that'll do us. And Brandon Grach, the ball is back. A thunderous third round stoppage victory on his return. And you see the respect that both fighters have. Grach immediately into the Tialoo corner. But that is some kind of a statement from Brandon Grach.
Well done, mate. Well done, mate.
The road less travelled for Brandon Grach through central Queensland, and now back on his pursuit towards the top of the heavyweight division domestically. Puts his name back up in lights here in his hometown of Newcastle tonight. This is how it ended, Sam.
Real clean shots there, but to be honest, it all started with the work he done to the body. He was getting to him with plenty of good body shots. The body work, it started adding up, and you could see on Tialoo's face that he was feeling the pressure and he was feeling the body shots, so it allowed for all those shots upstairs to happen straight after it.
He's got a hit list of guys that he wants, Grach, on his return. He wants the Telepe trilogy. I mentioned a handful of names earlier. We obviously know at his best what he's capable of. He's now 6-1. It's the fourth win that he's got through stoppage. Some of those, social media real knockouts that we saw earlier in his crowning moment here in 2023. Only just beginning tonight. Let's see how it unfolded in real time. Thudding shots upstairs. And Bez, you touched on it, was really after the fact that he'd ripped to the body 3 times there. And then Tialoo really took all the air out of him by that stage. He started to wear a couple up top, and a pretty good stoppage.
You've got to give Tialoo his credit. What a chin he's got to wear those, and wear them pretty sweet. It was a bit of fatigue, and it was quality work from Grach that got him out of there.
A thunderous performance. Brandon Grach on his return gets a stoppage win in round 3. Let's kick it up to Stephen Payos.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make this one official here in Newcastle. The end comes at 1 minute and 50 seconds into round number 3. Your referee, Dean Cambridge, calls a stop to the bout. Method of victory is a TKO in favour of your winner. He's back, Brandon the Bull Grach.
How about that for a bit of a tone setter of what we're in for tonight, and it's only just beginning in the Newcastle Entertainment Centre through Fox Sports, and tonight, of course, on Main Event. It's the only place you can get it after 7 p.m. Eastern. Nikita Tszyu back in the ring. He takes on yet another undefeated opponent in Oscar Diaz. You can watch it all tonight on Main Event.
I'm never focusing on a knockout. I've been focusing more on like timing. You just got to find them at that right point, and yeah, it can do damage.
Oh! Here goes Nikita Tszyu.
I just fight the way I fight, and I guess it always seems to entertain people.
This is wild action. It's turning into a brawl.
I like a good old scrap. This guy is coming from Spain. This is a big moment for him. It's his first international fight. He's coming for it. It's going to be good.
He is without a doubt Australia's most exciting boxer.
Nikita Tszyu has always lived in the shadows.
The Dark Prince reigns supreme.
Tonight, he proves he's no reckless brawler.
This is truly the Tszyu show.
And more than the youngest son and brother to a pair of world champions.
For his size, he's very heavy puncher.
This is bad blood. This is the one we've been waiting for.
The last time we saw Nikita, that infamous night with Michael Zarafa.
That's a bad cut. There's a lot of blood.
And boy, did he look good.
Oh!
Beast up a former world title challenger with precision, patience, and trademark power.
Stop that.
Robbed of his chance for a coming-of-age victory, but in just 2 rounds, punched every doubter square in the face.
The conversations continue.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
The fight will not.
You really look good tonight.
For years, we've called Nikita a rising star.
He's a gunslinger.
The next big thing. Now, he's the man. And for the first time, takes on an international, world-ranked fighter.
There's a brute in front of him.
Oscar Diaz, better known as El Toro, the bull. Undefeated in 16 fights, this hard-working, relentless 25-year-old is hailed as the future of Spanish boxing.
Main event time, baby, let's go.
But to be the future, he's got to survive 10 rounds in Tszyucastle. And no one stepped in with the butcher and escaped unscathed. So tonight, it's Nikita's crack at the big time. The butcher and the bull. And it's only on Main Event.
The Butcher!
It's a pretty easy sell, isn't it? The Bull and the Butcher. Ding, ding, round one when it begins tonight. You don't want to be anywhere else, but on Main Event, it's where you can find it. Nikita Tszyu up against Oscar Diaz. Both guys weighed in on the limit yesterday, or inside the limit. 10 rounds tonight, Sam Goodman. It's incredible to think the way Nikita's been booked. So this is only his 13th fight. It's the 8th time that he's fought an unbeaten opponent.
Absolutely, he's progressed really, really quick, and the level of competition since he started, you know, having these big nights and these big events, you know, the competition's had to be pretty high. So he's in against another cagey guy who looks very, very awkward to deal with tonight. So
this is his last time out, obviously, when we saw him up against Michael Zarafa, and in the end, obviously, a lot of people felt like they were shortchanged, including Nikita, in the sense that the way that it ended that night. But, gee, it looked good in the small sample size that we saw.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing we thought he was going to get out of that fight was rounds, and that's what he's chasing, and it was unfortunate how it all went down.
I can't see the quote from Michael Zarafa at the finish, and that was all she wrote. And obviously ended with a premature finish. This is what he's capable of, the Butcher. Here's his knockout list so far. So 11 wins, 9 inside the distance.
He's a massive puncher, and the power he possesses, especially in that backhand, and he finds a way. He always digs deep, and you know, in tough fights, and some serious power.
Dark Prince, he's got a rocket ship strapped to his back the way that he's fighting. And tonight he comes up against the Spanish rising star, as you heard from Matt Nable in the play-on, that this is the hope out of Spain when it comes in the fight game in Oscar Diaz, who's undefeated. He's got in his camp a guy by the name of Josh Kelly. Now, fight fans will know him. He's the IBF Super Welterweight World Champion who tamed Bakram Murtazalev, who of course beat Tim Tszyu. So there's a little connection there in the Oscar Diaz camp tonight. So Josh Kelly's been part of his camp in the lead-up, who beat Bakram on the way through. So we'll get a chance to see how the two unbeatens go tonight. The 8th unbeaten opponent in 13 fights for Nikita Tszyu up against Oscar Diaz. Main Event, the only place to find it. We got boxing on the way right here, right now, though, and it involves Kyron Dryden, who's going to be in the ring next up against this man, Hunter Ioane. A lot of people in Australian boxing know all about Hunter and what he's done for a period of time. We haven't seen Kyron Dryden for a minute. It's been almost 7 years, and this feels like it's got a bit of spice about it. I asked Kyron yesterday about the fact that they'd clashed at the press conference. They clashed again at the weigh-in. He said, look, I'm just a fighter at heart. He's calling me disrespectful. He's giving me different energy off the camera. I love fighting. It excites me. Said he got goosebumps even talking about it. Let's see how he goes when we get it underway. We're ready to go, Dryden and Ioane, to Stephen Payos.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Welcome back once again, centering in Newcastle, bout number 3 of our preliminary card of boxing. If you haven't already, right now, get your pay-per-view for 7 p.m, mainevent.com.au. Let's welcome our boxers out for the next bout here this afternoon. First of all, the man boxing to my right, out of the red corner, here is the very entertaining Hunter Ioane!
All
Here's Hunter Ioane, who's the owner of one of the most emotive and entertaining ring walks in all of Australian boxing. He's been in there with a load of top guys, rising contenders in and around the welterweight division. He fought and won a bare-knuckle fight just last month. So he won by a third-round knockout. Says he wants to fight Paulie Malignaggi for his world title. Of course, Paulie fights for that. And a colleague of ours, of course, in the bare-knuckle boxing on May 16. So he's already happy to mix it up with the bare-handed as well. And we see him back in the boxing ring tonight. He also proves the old adage, Sam, in boxing that never judge a fighter by their record. He's only won 2 of his last 16 fights, and yet he's been in there with everybody.
He's fought absolutely everyone, but before you're calling out guys like Malignaggi, you're going to have to string a few together. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's see what we can do here against a guy in Kyron Dryden who hasn't been all that active. So it's a good fight. Like you said, he's been in with everyone, so this could go either way.
I love that. I love that. You're a true fighter, Sam. Just sort of pointing that out, making sure that doesn't get lost in the conversation. All right, let's get his opponent out here. There's been a bit of spice between these two in the lead-up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce his opponent to the ring. This man to my left out of the blue corner. And he's another one of your returning local heroes from right here in Newcastle. Let's make some noise and welcome Kyron Dryden!
Here he comes, Newcastle's own, now residing in Brisbane. He said to me yesterday at the weigh-in, I'm probably the most controversial athlete in Australia, the most controversial fighter that the country has right now. I said, has your attitude changed in the 7 years since we last saw him? He said, definitely. I've only got one girl now. I don't have 15 girlfriends, going from state to state, flights every other day. Now my life is boxing. I'm focused, I'm eating well, I've made weight, no baths, no sauna, and that the state of Australian boxing needs me. He said Brisbane keeps him disciplined. He grew up in and around the juvenile justice system, the court system from 14 to 18. He says, look, there's no distractions now. A housing commission kid from Hamilton South down on Fowler Street, just a few blocks from the entertainment centre. We see him back in a boxing ring for the first time in 7 years tonight. Kyron Dryden makes his in-ring return. And here's how they come together with the tail of the tape. Kyron Dryden, 2 years older than Hunter Ioane. Ioane has been more active, clearly, in that last 7-year stretch either side of the pandemic. Not much between them height-wise, very little between them when it comes to the reach, and they both looked lean and cut on the scales yesterday, well inside the welterweight limit.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Time for our formal introductions for the next bout of the afternoon. 5 rounds in the welterweight division. Our 3 judges scoring the bout ringside: Will Sulos, Leanne Reid and Dean Cambridge. This bout is proudly brought to you by No Limit Boxing. First of all, we move to my right. We introduce the man who's boxing out of the red corner this evening. He wears the black and white trunks with a pattern of his native Samoa. He weighed in 66.46 kilograms. Professional record reading: 24 fights, 10 wins, 13 losses, 1 draw, 7 big words coming by way of knockout. Hailing now from Brisbane, Queensland, a man with proud Samoan heritage, introducing the always exciting, ladies and gentlemen, this is Coco Samoa Hunter And now, boxing fans, we move across the ring. It's time to introduce his opponent. Let's make some noise for your returning local hero, boxing out of the blue corner. This man wears the white and gold trunks. He tipped the scale 66.04 kilograms. Professional record reading 15 fights, 13 wins, 2 losses, 10 big wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from right here in Newcastle, New South Wales, here is your returning from a 7-year hiatus local hero. This is Kyron, the Hitman Dryden. Action gets underway. Referee in charge, Shane Stamford.
All right, boys, we've run through the rules. You know what I expect. You stay away from here. You stay away from here. On the inside, you keep it nice and clean. Heads, elbows, out of it, all right? All the best, boys.
We know boxing thrives off its characters, and in a narrative-building industry, Hunter Ioane is an ever-present character. He makes the ordinary extraordinary. And Kyron Dryden, a motivated Kyron Dryden, is a handful for anyone in and around the welterweight division. The hitman or the plot twist as we get ready to go over 5 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And Kyron Dryden makes his return to the boxing scene. It's a long layoff, Sam, when you're out of the ring for that period of time.
Absolutely, it's a big layoff and a lot of time out in the ring, especially against a guy who's, you know, he always brings it. He's always game, and he's been in, like you said, with absolutely everyone.
He's bringing him up from the floor in the opening minute here, Hunter Ioane.
Step back. Box.
So what's the focus for Dryden, do you think? Having been out for that long, what are you trying to achieve in the first 3 minutes?
Look, he's got to really find his feet at the start of this fight. Ioane's gone straight at him and looking to make it a bit of a rough and dirty fight.
And he ignores the referee's call here and punches after the call from Shane Stamford.
None of that, all right, please? You listen to the calls. Box.
He gets a telling off straight away from the third man in the ring. We saw it in the lead-up, the emotion and the fact that they had a little bit going on in the press conference and the weigh-in. Those kind of fights, when it feels like there's a little bit of tension between the two before the fight starts, what role does that play when the fight begins?
Look, I think you've got to remove yourself from what happens outside the ring. You know, it's all well and good before the fight, and it helps build it, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but you can't let it dictate the way you're fighting. And at the moment, Dryden's getting stuck into Ioane's fight right now.
Ioane pressing the action in this opening round. It'll go 5. And Dryden trying to get a breather in there, and Hunter Ioane's not giving him one at all. He's throwing thudding shots immediately and a little unsteady on his feet, Dryden. And now he's looking to try and clinch and lock up.
He's got to get control back at the centre ring. Keep his back off ropes. Look to land some long straight shots with a bit behind it.
Back, got the counter on the inside, and Ioane, who was pressing the action, hits the canvas first.
8. You right?
It was that straight right hand that was the winner for him as well. He's got to look to keep his range and work off his jab and look to land that big right hand again.
And on the back of one shot, it's amazing how the tenor of this fight switches, and now Dryden, with a bit of confidence, lands up top. It's Ioane who gets stung again, and Dryden moves in behind it. Few deep breaths. And Kyron Dryden looks a whole lot more comfortable. He lands again. Ioane needs to cover up here. Dryden trying to punch his way out of it. And Ioane looked like he was rocked a couple of times there.
Didn't look steady at all.
Latter stages of the opening round in what's turned into a big Kyron Dryden round on his return. Short jab on the left hand, bounces off the forehead of Ioane, and the man who came out swinging finds himself on the canvas, and Kyron Dryden with a 10-8 round to start his ring return.
Perfect. Stay on him, Philip. Stay on him. Just keep your hands up, all right? Look, that one hand, you gotta hide it, you gotta lock it. But it's hitting, it's working, all right? Just move your head, stay really tight, all right? Doing good, Philip. Same thing you did in the beginning, stick to it. But use your feet too. All right? Use your feet.
He's the knockdown, Sam Goodman. How did it happen?
Look, he just caught him in between shots. Hunter was definitely getting very wild and getting very loose. He had momentum going at the start, and had Dryden a little bit overwhelmed, but good use of feet there, good little lean back, and that straight right hand was there for him.
10-8 round to start. Kyron Dryden trying to land an uppercut on the inside. Ioane throws him behind it. And Dryden staying in rage. He's got him down again. And the ref waves it off. Kyron Dryden is back. What a thunderous return from Newcastle's own, and Kyron Dryden makes a statement with a second round stoppage win. And that leaves some kind of an impression. 7 years out, and Kyron Dryden returns back in Newcastle. He grew up just a few blocks from here and scores himself a second round stoppage win after 7 years out of the ring.
Looked good after the first initial part of the fight. He found his feet, found his range, and he started getting to him. Landed plenty of big, strong right hands up through the middle and straight right hands as well. Real good performance.
And an abrupt ending is how it all finished. Kyron landed 3 times, and you saw the way Ioane hit the deck, and the referee, Shane Stanford, thought he'd seen enough early in the second round. That left hand on the way down off the jawline. And that's a big way for it to finish. Here it is in real time. He's got big ambitions back in the welterweight division. There's a bit of a void really in domestic level. Obviously Liam Paro is there from representing Australia on a global stage, but he's hoping this can help him jump the queue a little bit in the backlog of welterweights. There's over 50 active fighters in Australia, as there's competition on to see who sits at the top of it. Guys like Stoneleigh Jackson and Marco Romeo. You got Huss Hamden all in and around the mix in the welterweight division, and Kyron Dryden, who's got thousands and thousands of followers on social media.
Plenty of good fights there and plenty of good matchups. It's just about getting that activity, getting back in the ring and getting familiar with things. So it's only a 2-round fight, so, you know, I think he could back up pretty quickly again.
Good on him. Kyron Dryden, a big-time comeback tonight, as even in his own words said, as controversial a figure that we have just about in Australian sport, in the road that he's travelled to be here. He's able to sort out all the hiccups and the hurdles that he'd had away from the ring, going on inside his life, and now he gets the opportunity to come out here with a victory in this kind of fashion tonight. Let's make it all official and kick it up to Stephen Pales.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause, first of all, for our boxers as we get them ready, centre ring now for the official decision. Let's hear it for both of our men here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially at 15 seconds of round number 2. Your referee, Shane Stanford, calls a stop to the contest. The method of victory is a TKO in favour of your winner. It's a big return, and welcome back the man from Newcastle, Kyron, the Hitman Dryden.
Hunter Ioane doesn't seem to be any more happy with it. He's still arguing the point at the official announcement from Stephen Pales.
I don't know what he's arguing about or what he's complaining about. It was as fair as it gets. The better man won on the night. So man, you gotta pack your bags, go back to the drawing board, and come back better. You know. So it's
no issues with the stoppage.
No, absolutely not. So he's getting to him cleanly with some big shots. It was a fair stoppage. So I think it was inevitable in the end.
And look at the power punch stats too. Landed 15 power punches in that short period of time. Kyron, Dryden, and by comparison, Ioane landed 1. So that's what the stats say at the end of that round. Here's the highlights in how it happened. And really, he couldn't hope for much more, Kyron, on his ring return. Kyron Dryden back in a big way, a thunderous stoppage victory in the second round. And it's been a big night, back-to-back wins for a couple of local guys in Newcastle. We got one more to come in the prelims. And then tonight, of course, main event is the place to find it. Nikita Tszyu headlines up against Oscar Diaz. Scan that QR code and you can catch all the action from 7 o'clock Eastern.
I think he just panicked. It's annoying that he saw the opening to escape and just took the first exit.
This crowd is furious. And there's a massive shot. Here comes Nikita Tszyu. The Dark Prince reigns supreme.
This is the beginning of the next phase of Nikita Tszyu's career.
The Butcher is truly back.
Green flag, green flag. Let's go. 270 kilometers per hour. The fight is on. And how about this storyline? Supercars racing at its most aggressive. Getting the elbows out. Oh my God! What is going on out here? That is Supercars at its finest.
We got the heat. Plenty of punch coming your way on the home of netball. We got the heat. We go hard as a mother. Wanna
No risk, no reward. Both thighs on the way, yeah, we got that.
Well, the ball has been deemed too sweaty.
We go hard as a mother, mother.
Every single game counts.
Break, checks, get paid up.
There he is, the man, Anthony Mundine, alongside his son, Raheem Mundine, the man they call CJ Chock Jr. He's in the ring tonight. He's going to kick it off on main event. After 7 o'clock, he'll be first up, and his old man, Anthony Mundine, who knows all about this building, Sam Goodman, will be in his corner. We'll see what we get from him tonight. If you get the opportunity, which I'm sure all of you will on main event later, you'll see his opponent tonight as well, who's got an interesting backstory of his own. But CJ kicks things off on main event. Here is Callum Peters, who's just watching the prelims and keeping an eye on things that are to come later tonight here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. This feels like a significant step up in class. The big question is, Sam, is it too much too soon for the former world #1 amateur?
It's a big jump for Callum, but look, I think he's up to it. You know, he's had a vast amateur background, and man, he's as game as it gets, and he's got plenty of ability. So look, I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's probably fight of the night. So we're all in Callum Peters' corner tonight.
It's an amazing story in what he's done as an amateur. He originally started out the pro ranks looking to run the two careers concurrently. He was the consensus #1 at middleweight. It's been a long time since we saw someone do that from an Australian perspective and be in the middleweight division as the #1 in the world. And so in search of some tougher competition, he gets an American out here in Joshon James, who feels like a huge leap from where he's been and the guys he's been fighting, which he's been cleaning house. And here is Jayden. So a little bit about his story in the back of his baseball card. So he's got one loss in his career, and that was to Lester Martinez, who's the interim WBC super middleweight champion. Jayden was a sparring partner of Canelo Alvarez back in 2023 in the lead up to the Jamel Charlo fight. So this is a battle-tested American who knows what it takes in the pro ranks, coming down to take on Callum Peters, a rising star of Australian boxing. An intriguing co-main tonight on main event. The last of our prelims about to begin. Stephen Payos in the ring.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time on our preliminary card, live and free on Fox Sports and KO Sports as we get ready for our big pay-per-view. If you haven't ordered it right now, keep an eye out for the QR code or go to mainevent.com.au. It all starts at 7 p.m. this evening. Let's welcome out our boxers, the final bout of our preliminary card. We have 4 rounds in the welterweight division. First of all, the man boxing to my right, out of the red corner, will make his way to the ring. Let's have a very big round of applause. This is Jayden Vasica.
This guy's as good as a human interest story as there is in Australian boxing. This young man was an orphan. He ended up in a foster family, bounced around as a young man. He has a kickboxing background, and he's made his way into the boxing ring, and what a statement he's made on debut. Very nearly caused a huge upset up against Matt Hosking. We then saw him second time out. He had a big win over Roger Gilbanks in Pyrmont, despite the fact he was a 4-1 underdog. He's a 5-1 dog tonight, and he's extremely confident. He's out to break the perception that he's not just a kickboxer, he's a former kickboxer. He's all in on boxing, and we get a chance to see how he goes in the ring tonight. When you get the chance to lay eyes on him in the ring, it's very easy to become a Jayden Vasica fan pretty quickly. And you get the opportunity to do that right here, right now on Fox Sports.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome his opponent to the ring. It is ring walk time for the man boxing to my left, out of the blue corner. This man hails from right here in Newcastle, New South Wales, another hometown hero. So let's make some noise as we welcome Brent Walton!
I'll whoop your head, boy. You know why I win. I'll whoop your head,
phone, ride in grandpa's Cadillac. The voice in my head say.
Another Novocastrian in the blue corner, Brent Walton, who's 4-2 in his career. He's 4-0 elsewhere. He's 0-2 in this building. He's out to change that tonight. 5 years ago, he had his first amateur boxing fight after a 10-week program, and 4 days later, he went to his first no-limit boxing card here in Newcastle. It was the Tszyu Dennis Hogan fight. He's now fighting on his third no-limit card in his hometown of Newcastle. You can hear a bit of 50 in the background while his dog's name is Curtis Jackson. I haven't heard of too many pups with a first and a second name, and yet that's what his young pup has. So there's a little nod to his woofer in Brent Walton, who's coming out with the 50-cent track tonight. Always popular, of course, for fight fans, and you heard the noise pick up in the house too. He brings a lot of support with him, the biggest ticket seller in the region, Brent Walton. It's going to be fun as long as it lasts. It's 4 rounds, so it'll be pretty chaotic as we've come to expect. Both guys high action, aggressive fighters. Walton's 6 years older than Vasica. He's also got the height and the reach advantage, and they both weighed in yesterday under the welterweight limit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here, centering for the final time on our preliminary card. It is now time for the formal introductions of this bout. 4 rounds penciled in the welterweight division. Our 3 judges scoring the bout ringside: Will Soulos, Leanne Reid, and Dean Cambridge. This bout is proudly brought to you by No Limit Boxing Promotions. First of all, we move to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce the man who's boxing tonight out of the red corner. He wears the black and green trunks, tipping the scale 65.92 kilograms. James Rosler in the corner. He holds a professional record: 2 fights, 1 win and 1 loss. Hailing from Hoppers Crossing in Victoria, let's give a very warm New South Wales welcome. This is Jayden, the Monster Vasica.
Good time, Jay. Be sharp.
And now we move across the ring, and Newcastle, make some noise for your local hero. It's time to introduce the man boxing out of the blue corner. This man wears the black sequin trunks with the gold trim, tipping the scale 66.32 kilograms. Trainer in the corner, Nathan Swadling, holding a professional record: 6 fights, 4 wins, 2 losses, 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. Another proud Novocastrian hailing from right here in Newcastle, New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, let's lift the roof as we welcome Brent the Wolf Walton. When action gets underway for the first time this evening, referee John Calci.
Okay, boys, obey my command all the time. When I say break or stop, you must do that, you understand? Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up, and let's get it on, boys.
He calls himself the Wolf. He's got the Walton Army. I feel like the Wolf Pack might have been a missed opportunity, but they'll be howling if he can get his first win tonight, Brent Walton, inside this building. And as plucky an underdog as you can get, Jayden Vasica Reyes is straight on him. I did mention they're both high-tempo, pressure, aggressive fighters. I spoke to Vasica during the week, Sam, and he said to me, look, I'm going to have to use my boxing skills tonight, knowing that he's an aggressive fighter. Well, he starts like he's been shot out of a cannon.
Absolutely. He's looking to start with a real aggressive pace. And, massive left hook and right hand there from Vasica.
Got a receipt on the way out as well. Immediately, there's a bit of redness around the eye of Vasica, but he's pressing the tempo and goes to work in the corner on Walton. 24 rounds. We're 40 seconds in already. And there's a tone setter of what's to come as Vasica tries to land the right hand. Moves into the body. They tangle up again against the ropes. The referee lets them work it out. Vasica in the teal trunks. Walton, hometown guy in the black. Walton swinging up top, missing twice. Vasica can't quite answer back. I'll lock up again.
It is a real clash of styles. Walton definitely wants to control centre ring and keep it a longer range fight, where Vasica, he wants to get short, he wants to get to the body, and he wants to make it a rough and tough fight.
Stiff hand landed on the way in from Walton as he caught Vasica there. Walton reaching over the top with the right hand. Vasica happy to be the lead foot. Ducks and weaves out of the way. Comes back for more and a couple of nutting punches up top. Trying to press the tempo in behind it.
Let him go. Let go. Back. Come on. Come on. Left side. Get your feet.
Heard the cry from the corner. A bit more footwork required from Walton. Their charge. Swinging over the top, then to the body. Vasica still right there. Pushes him off him. Incredibly fit guy, Jayden Vasica. He's had an ultra marathon recently, just a crazy 54 kilometres in the same day.
You're going to have to be very, very fit to keep up this pace. This is a crazy pace that he started with, so let's hope it's put him in good stead for these 4 rounds.
Walton landing one up top, bit of sweat flying back. Vasica a little unsteady on his feet. Stays there and trades though. Walton able to get one on the way through. He's trying to push Vasica off his chest. Walton, short right hand. Trying to land another one as Vasica works on the way in. Walton to the body. And the ref gives them the chance, John Counchy, to work it out from the clinch. Last 20 seconds of this opening round. High octane opening. More body work here from Walton. Short uppercut from Vasica. Trying to land a left hand, misses. Again, happy just to roll in there and put his head on the chest of Walton. And the local lad, Walton, will be happy enough with what he's seen through the opening 3 minutes in what is a ferocious opening in the welterweight division. How about that for all action? We'll go inside the Walton camp at the end of that opening round. The thoughts of Sam Goodman in a moment.
So listen, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up the 1-2 every time we've got this. He's coming in, right? So you just got to be fast with the 1-2. When he starts getting under it, mix it up with the jab and then the uppercut. Once you make the commitment to throw the uppercut, stay down, he's coming in, and then start chopping up under the body. Double it up on the left side even, okay? Nice and tucked in, nothing silly up here. Tucked in, boom, boom, okay? But it's here, 1-2.
Here's a whole lot from that opening round. What did you think, Sam?
Look, I think definitely towards the end of the round, Walton started to get his range and he started to use his feet a bit more and start to control the pace of the fight a little bit and find good shots like that. So I think he's going to look to draw him out with his feet early and then look to fill those gaps with his own stuff.
Round 2.
Walton the first?
I think so. I think the work he done towards the end of the round has probably pinched that round for him.
Both of you stop. Step back. Come on. Box.
The referee Counchy just controlling things. Walton almost took a seat out here with us. Being pushed between the ropes. Again, a flurry of punches from Walton on the inside. Vasica covers up and then gets out of there. Weaves out of the way of an uppercut, which swung through from the Novocastrian.
Got to be careful of how much he's bringing his chin up with that uppercut as well. The left hook's sitting there for Vasica.
Vasica takes a long look. Again, trying to work on the inside and get him on the chest of Walton, who again pushes him off him. Again there, easy to hit as Walton throws to the body, and Vasica, you can clearly see trying to get inside the reach and inside the guard on Walton. As he swings overhead, Walton does well to weave out of the way.
He's just got to shorten up a few of his shots on the inside there. He's getting there and he's still trying to swing big with the left hook. He's got to shorten it up, get to the body first, and then look to bring it upstairs.
An enormous heart, Jayden Vasica. We've seen that already in the small sample size so far. And as you know, to adopt this kind of approach, it comes with huge risk, but also enormous discipline to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And look, the pressure he's put on and the pace he's forced in that first round, you can see it's taken a toll on both the boys here. So,
two-punch combination, changing levels on that. The left hook from Walton up top and then to the body. And now it's Vasica with his back on the ropes, wearing a couple of the body. Vasica answers back upstairs. Three-punch combination of his own. And again, Vasica trying to lean on the inside, misses with the hook. Walton in a tangle as Vasica leans his head in again. Latter stages of round 2, which will get us to the end of the round at the halfway stage of the fight. Both guys miss up top. Walton trying to fight out with his back against the ropes. Vasica there to answer back with a short right hand on the inside. Big leaping uppercut. Unsuccessful from Vasica. But again, he keeps coming forward, keeps leaning in, staying right on Walton as he pushes him into the neutral corner.
Keep your punches up. Come on.
Someone lands something short in that exchange on the
There was a
inside.
good little body shot on the inside there from Vasica. Looked like a little short right uppercut.
Got him on the way out there, Walton. Erupts the corner in the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. And Vasica covering up back against the ropes late in the round, and that'll do us through 2. Jordan and James Rosler both in the corner with Jayden Vasica Reyes. Here he is.
Back of the head. Don't worry about it. Hey. Are you breathing now? Big breath. Now, he's getting tired now. Okay, you can see he's getting tired, okay? Focus on your breathing for me. Nice and relaxed, okay? Now you're doing well out there. Okay, but I need a bit more cleaner, yeah? Yeah. He's more tired than you. He's more tired. The only place he's getting you is when he's on the inside, leaning on you, he's hitting your body. Yeah. He does that, step, boom, upper center. Get out of there, and straight on him. Yeah. Breathe. He doesn't want as much as you, buddy.
This is the end of the Fox Sports portion of the night, and then it's off to main event. Of course, headlined by Nikita Tszyu, but the man who's going to be in the ring first is Raheem Mundine, CJ Chock Jr., and his dad, Anthony Mundine, of course, in his corner. You'll see it all straight up after 7 o'clock Eastern over on main event. Round 3 underway. Positive affirmation from James Rosler in the corner, just pointing to the other side of the ring. He's more tired than you.
Yeah, absolutely. Both boys look pretty tired, but I think it's all come from the first round, so it's really a survival of the fittest in this round. So I think the pace does suit Vasica a little bit more. Walton's got to get control of the center ring and look to land his straight shots again. His right hand was a winner early on. He's just gone away from it.
As we've seen in his small sample size so far, he keeps coming forward, he keeps pressing the action, and Vasica again trying to lean in on Walton. Getting a little bit of a tangle there.
Come on, let's go.
The first 50 seconds of the third round flies off the clock, the penultimate round. Walton trying to punch out of the clinch, and again just shoving Vasica back, trying to create a little bit of distance. Vasica straight back on the inside. Weaves his way out of the way with a right hand. And then found himself outside of range. They both throw punches and bounce off the gloves. Vasica to the body.
No, get it right. Minute to go.
They reset again. You can see the pace, just the tempo of this just change a little here midway through the third. After the helter-skelter opening in the first 6 minutes.
Right. Step back.
What's the answer here for Vasica if you're looking at it, Sam, through his lens at this stage of the fight?
He's definitely got to keep the pressure on, keep the pace, and this tempo suits him. This is his kind of fight. He's got to drag Walton into this type of fight. I think he's got to get to the body a little bit more. I think they're both going tit for tat there. He's got to have more success there and look to bring it back up top.
Walton leans into the jab up top. And have the thoughts of the world title bound Sam Goodwin, the super bantamweight. Of course, more on that, I'm sure, to come throughout the night. So what's next for Sam? Hopefully back in the ring in the not too distant future. Vasica trying to work on the inside, trying to leap into one. Does well Walton to cover up in all of that.
Step around there. Angle. 1, 2.
Vasica trying to land something in the exchange. Walton turns in, got Vasica's back against the ropes. Crowd erupts in behind it. 20 seconds to go before a final breather. And a hot 3 minutes to finish.
Step around now. 10 seconds. Right. 10 seconds. Go hard.
Changing pace in this third round, as you've seen. Vasica again trying to land something short on the inside if he can just get one on the right spot. Walton, so disciplined, got himself out of there and able to control the fight through 3. 1 to go as Brent Walton hunts his first victory inside the Newcastle Entertainment Centre.
Now we've got one more round, bub. Okay? Well, we've got to be careful, right? We have to be effective.
So we have to be careful that he doesn't out-volume us this round. Yeah. Okay? So we're either going to move. Yeah. We're either going to move, right? Or we're going to outwork him, right? Turn around.
Remember the exercise we used to do? Remember how much you can do with your basic tools? Your 1-2 and your jab cross hook? You can do that, bro. Your basic tools and you'll win this fight.
Brother, 90% of this is going to be in here. It's going to be in here, double up, all right? If you can keep him at bay here, beautiful, move your feet. But as soon as it's in here, you've got to outwork him. Don't let him outwork. And you've got to be more effective. We want to be landing with punches than him.
Touch gloves, all right?
Saw those fight stats sound incredible numbers. Over 600 punches between the two guys in 9 minutes of boxing.
Yeah, pretty crazy numbers for a 4-round fight. Both boys have just went absolutely hammer and tong, and they're leaving it all out there.
All right, 3 minutes to try and change the course of the evening for Jayden, Vasica, and for Brent Walton. He's got 3 minutes here to try and navigate in front of his home crowd to get a long-awaited victory inside the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. His third attempt in front of his home crowd. Swings over the top, misses.
Just got to keep it a bit longer. He can make this fight a whole lot easier for himself if he can get control of centre ring and use his longer range punches.
Walton, thudding shot to the body, answering back with that. Walton throwing one to the midriff himself. Now it's Vasica who gets himself at a bit of distance.
Vasica doesn't want his back near a rope here. This ain't good for him here. He wants to be the one back and applying pressure.
Spin around there as he circles to his left. Leans in again. As Walton just tangles up.
Come on, boy. Back, let it go. Come on.
Back they go to centre ring. Time ticking away on the night. Vasica's head walks back there. He works his way back on the inside. Good right hand from Walton. Again pushes Vasica back. Trying to work to the body. You heard the call from the Walton camp. He's tired. Trying to spur their charge on in Brent Walton to push for a victory here. 1:20 to go. And again, Walton able just to lock up. Vasica. He's got to get something dramatic to happen here. He's got 70 seconds to try and make it happen.
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs something big here. I think for large parts, Walton has controlled the fight. He's probably outworking him as well this round.
Desperation belongs to him here. And Vasica now running after Walton with 50 seconds to go. He's at the rear one on the inside. Vasica a little recede as he tries to land something. 45 seconds to go. And again, they're at it at each other as Vasica leaning in on the chest of Walton. Walton misses with a right hand. Left hand just slips off the cheek of Vasica. Final 30 seconds now. Tick, 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 tick. As time runs away for Vasica in his short 4-rounder. 20 seconds to go. Walton with some work to the body. They try and untangle from one another. And Walton again, happy to exchange on the inside. He's throwing a boatload of punches tonight, Brent Walton. He's happy to press in these exchanges. He has a flurry here late in the piece. And Nova Castrian is going to get his night inside the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. That's a fun 4 rounds of boxing. And we'll go to the judges' cards. The Newcastle crowd pretty happy with the local lad in what they've seen across those 12 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he done probably the better work over those 4 rounds, but I think, you know, Vasica definitely brought the fight, but Walton just had probably the bigger moments.
Certainly got the hometown support. Brent Walton. They're making plenty of noise, and there's always that added element to as to what role that plays. Being the hometown guy in this kind of a scenario. Gee, there was a lot of punches thrown from both guys, Sam, across these 4 rounds.
Absolutely. I think the hometown fans actually brought Walton home in the back end of the fight as well. So he really rallied at the end and looked to trade with him. Both boys leaving it all out there.
Saw in the latter stages here as Vasica tried to do some work in the corner, and Walton able to amplify his offense. shot cross. Brent Walton, this is all in the last few moments of that fourth and final round. I think I know for sure that two guys that are no stranger to this stage on a no-limit card, and I think Mo Lemon will be pretty happy to see both of them again with what they've shown over those 12 minutes. Jayden Vasica, just the third time out, and Brent Walton, the judges now have it in their hands. Make your own mind up at home who you thought won across those 4 rounds. Nikita Tszyu and Oscar Diaz, that is the next stop. Of course, it's all coming up tonight on Main Event. This is the prelude to all of that. Main Event, the place to find it from 7 Eastern. Let's go to Stephen Payos for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for that one, our final battle on the preliminary card. 4 magnificent rounds of action. Here we have it. We go to the scorecards for the decision after 4 rounds. Judge Dean Cambridge scores the bout 38-38, a draw. Judges Will Sulos and Leanne Reid are in agreement. Both judges have the bout 39-37. We have a winner by majority points decision, and that winner is Brent the Wolf Walton.
He gets a win in this building, Brent Walton. And the Wolfpack are making plenty of noise. The biggest ticket seller in these parts celebrates with a win in his 3rd attempt in the biggest venue in town at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. It's about to become Tszyucastle tonight again as Nikita Tszyu is in the ring up against Oscar Diaz, all on Main Event from 7 p.m. Let's kick it upstairs to Megan Barnard.
Yeah, thanks very much, Corbin. Congratulations to Brent Walton and all of our winners here on Fox Sports. That completes the prelim portion of this big night of boxing here in Newcastle. And very shortly, we are moving across to our pay-per-view coverage, headlined by the man who's going to get out of this car in just a moment, Nikita Tszyu. So if you haven't already, you can order now. You can scan that QR code or head to mainevent.com.au. For those who are joining us over on Main Event, you'll be seeing more of myself and these 3 rock stars alongside me, George Rose, Liam Paro, Peter Bedell. Gentlemen, a fantastic start to the night already, but George, we are just getting warmed up, and it could get pretty hot in here later on if this man delivers some fireworks.
Oh, look, absolutely. I think the scene's well and truly been set tonight. Everybody's rolling in. We've had some great performances in the prelims, but like you said, it is just the entree for what's to come. And Nikita Tszyu looks like he's locked in yet again, and I still can't believe how good he looked when he stepped into the ring last time, and I'm expecting the exact same this time. He's a very supreme athlete, and he'll put on another great performance tonight.
Liam, how excited are you to see the Butcher back in action tonight and hopefully able to get out of first gear, something he hasn't been able to do for almost 2 years?
I was just going to say that hopefully we get to see a bit more of him tonight. He's very exciting, explosive, and I think, yeah, he's ready to make another statement here.
Tonight's also about, Pete, just officially putting the Michael Zarafa drama behind us once and for all. He's had the shadow of that fight, Nikita Tszyu, since the beginning of the year, but you think after tonight, it's a distant memory.
It has to be, Megan. Look, he has to move forward, and look, that was a no-contest debacle that really angered Nikita. I know he felt like he said it himself that he let the fans down that night, but he shouldn't feel that way, because if anyone let anyone down, it was Michael Zarafa. But Nikita Tszyu, he's an entertainer. He loves to punch on, and that's the beauty of Nikita Tszyu, is the great certainty of him is the uncertainty. We don't know what we're going to get from him tonight, and I don't know what he's going to deliver tonight, but I can tell you what, there'll be some big bombs, there'll be some pain for Diaz, but ultimately, we need to see something a little bit more technical from Nikita. I hope we get it tonight.
You're sick of talking about that last fight, aren't you? Hey?
I am sick of it. And look, you know, we were 2 rounds away from having the perfect night in Brisbane at Nikita's last fight. I think that if it does stop early tonight, it's stopping because of Nikita Tszyu's fist. That's the only reason that we will stop this fight early tonight.
How important, George, is it that he not only gets the win tonight, but he starts to build some momentum and starts to make some inroads in the global market, because he is ranked up there. He could move as high as 3 tonight. He just hasn't had that ring time or hasn't been able to get that experience.
Yeah, well, look, he knocks off everybody who steps in front of him, and that's why he's ranked the way that he is. But we do want to see him get more ring time. And again, I don't care if he stops them early. If he keeps getting more active and more opportunities like this, I'm happy for that. I don't care if he fights 10 times and knocks him out in the first round 10 times in 1 year. That's just as good as getting 10 rounds in and getting some good activity.
And George, the one thing I love about Nikita is a bit like his brother. Whenever you doubt him, he finds another level. He takes the next step, and when you put him in the deep end, he swims, and he swims with aplomb. And I really like the fact that it's not only about power for Nikita, but even the unbeaten opponents. He's taken 7 unbeaten records. You put him in against Brubaker, more experienced, but he got the job done. Put him in against Biggs for a title. He gets the title. So any time Nikita gets a challenge, he thrives on it. He revels in it. I think he'll relish it again tonight.
Yeah, Liam, how far away do you think he is from those big fights? Or does it all depend on getting the rounds and getting the experience?
100%. You've got to remember, Nikita's only had 12 pro fights. He's still a baby in this, so there's no point in rushing him. You know, the boys in No Limit are doing it perfectly. He's earning his stripes at that world stage. You don't want him to jump too far, jump in the deep end, and then what? Something happens just from being rushed, and then what goes on there? You know, they're building him up perfectly, and this is the same for Diaz tonight. They're both in the same position. One's going to go forward in their career. One's going to realise, well, maybe I ain't on that world stage. And me personally, I think Nikita's going to blast him out of here, and that's what he needs to do to prove that he's going to take out world titles, because we don't want him to just be in the corner. We want him to win them world titles. So these are these fights that matter.
There he is chatting to your brother Matt, who's had a whirlwind trip over to Vegas to get the Tszyu Errol Spence fight locked in. We look forward to chatting more about that tonight. How does he look to you, Nikita? Because he did look a little bit gaunt yesterday. Looked like he might have done the weight a little tough.
Yeah, look, I've never seen Nikita look good at a weigh-in. He always looks terrible weigh-in day, but I think he looks fantastic now. And of course, he shaved his head yesterday, so it was a whole new look for him yesterday. He went from being, you know, looking fresh the day before to coming out like that. But he's never looked good at a weigh-in. He's always looked good when he steps into the ring. And the thing that we all love about Nikita is he makes himself so vulnerable in there. I wish he wouldn't. I wish he wouldn't, but we do love it. He loves to get in there and mix it up. He takes hits. He goes down. He gets back up. He's not been stopped. And this momentum that he has built over the previous years is just going to keep rolling, but he's really got to be on tonight, because it is, without a doubt, the toughest fight he's ever faced.
Oh, I'll tell you what, George, I like the look of Oscar Diaz. I really do. I think he's game, he's ready, and he's got that spiciness. I mean, he's already sledged Nikita. He said, I'll stop him tonight. He says, this won't be Tszyucastle, it'll be Diaz Castle. And look, one thing I like about Diaz from the footage here, he's a pressure fighter. He's not afraid to walk forward. He controls the ring pretty well, got good shot selection, and above all, he's got belief. And when you're unbeaten, that's a huge, powerful factor, as Liam Parra could attest to. So he's never been beaten. He doesn't know what defeat is. He could inflict one on Nikita tonight.
Yeah, how do you think he's going to handle Nikita's power tonight?
That's another thing, you know. It's till he gets punched in the face, we're going to wait and see. You know, the pressure's there, and me personally, I love a fighter walking him on the shots all day long. So, look, I think he's going to struggle with the explosiveness and the power of Nikita, but at the same time, like Pete Badal said, we said before, he's an undefeated fighter is dangerous. Yeah. They don't know how to lose. So it's going to be an exciting fight, and like I said, the best man's going to prove that they're at that world level, and the other's going to get back to the drawing board. So.
Our main event, so exciting tonight, but hey, also is our co-main. I know you might be a little bit nervous about this, George Rose. Rising star Callum Peters, he's had a phenomenal start to his career, but this is a significant step up tonight, a significant risk against American Deshaun James. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, well, look, I talk about Callum Peters the same way I do with Nikita, because I feel that they're both such very similar fighters in what they're doing in the ring, and that they're both so exciting. They get in. Callum Peters has such a high tempo. He pushes the tempo on every opponent he comes in against, but he leaves himself vulnerable as well. His defence, there's still a lot of questions about his defence and how he can go with that, because he's come from the amateurs where they can take shots a lot easier, a lot better. into being in the pros where he's got these smaller gloves, heavier hits, and he does leave himself open for it. But man, he throws a lot of punches and he turns on the tempo, and it's so exciting to watch, Pete.
It is, George. Look, the one thing I'll say, to me, this is a huge barometer tonight for Callum Peters. This is not one level above. This is 2 or 3 levels. Deshaun James is the real deal. He's only been stopped once in his career. He fought for a world title just 2 fights ago against Lester Martinez. He was beaten in that fight, but that was his only loss. I think Callum Peters, my concern about him is sometimes he takes too many and he gets too many. And he has to be technically sharp tonight, because if he's not on his game, he'll get stopped here. But look, I think he can win. I hope he does. But this is a huge test, and if he wins, he proves to me that he's international quality.
Oh, so much to look forward to tonight, gentlemen. Great to get your early thoughts, but that's we're going to leave things now on Fox Sports. We're going to head across to our pay-per-view coverage. So if you haven't already, scan that QR code or head to mainevent.com.au. We'll see you very shortly for Nikita Tszyu.